Many of our clients are frustrated by the EEOC process, and a lot of it's not necessarily EEOC's fault. Currently, staffing levels at EEOC are at historic lows. I think they currently have 11 investigators in the Phoenix District Office. They're supposed to have about 33. They currently have 2 mediators in the EEOC office. They typically have 4 or more, and they also don't even have their supervisor. So right now, a lot of investigations are taking a lot longer than they typically would take. And that frustrates a lot of people. It's frustrating to us as well because we want EEOC to wrap up the investigation, make a cause finding, so that we can pursue it. These investigations typically take anywhere from 6 months to as long as 4 or sometimes even 5 years for EEOC to complete. That's a long time. And again, it's frustrating for everybody, but what we prefer to do is we prefer the EEOC to finish that process because we want EEOC to make a cause finding. If EEOC makes a cause finding, then they will be issued a letter of determination. This letter of determination is something that we can use in court as evidence that the company committed some form of wrong. Now, one benefit that we have here at this law firm that others don't is that we know many of the EEOC investigators. They're our former coworkers. Many of them are our friends. Now, that won't necessarily help you with getting a cause finding, but it is helpful when we can call them and say, what's taking so long? What can we do to speed this up? What information can I provide you? Do you need a list of witnesses, phone numbers? I can provide you with affidavits. So there are certain things that we can do to help speed up that process and make it easier for them to reach a decision in your case. Another thing that we do is when the company responds to a charge of discrimination, they submit what's called a position statement. That position statement can be anywhere from 5 to 10 pages long, and it's the company's response to the allegations in the charge of discrimination. What we do is we ask EEOC for a copy of that position statement, and then we work with our clients to draft a rebuttal to the position statement. And then we send that rebuttal to EEOC, and oftentimes we also send a copy of it to the employer and ask that they pay a certain demand for the harm that they have caused our client. And again, that helps speed up the process because the EEOC investigator can look at our response and see what witnesses need to be interviewed, what information is likely to come from those witnesses, and it can help them in their analysis when they're drafting their memorandum to their supervisors to make a determination in the case. So again, I recommend contacting an experienced employment lawyer in Phoenix to handle your case. And particularly in these matters, we can really help speed up the process and make it easier for you to reach a conclusion in your case.